It was almost midnight when I heard the knock. 3 slow taps against the wood. I thought it was another trick-or-treater, but the porch light was off. No one should have been out that late. I looked through the window, saw nothing but fog crawling along the street. Then came another knock, softer, slower, like whoever was out there didn't have the strength to keep going. I told myself to ignore it. But then I remembered what happened 5 years ago. The boy who vanished. His name was Eli Miller. He lived 2 houses down. 7 years old, always wore a red hoodie, even with his Spider-Man costume that Halloween night. Everyone in the neighborhood knew him. Sweet, polite, always smiling. That night, his parents took him trick-or-treating like usual. They stopped by almost every house. Eli's bag was almost full. He wanted to keep going, just one more street, he said. His parents finally agreed. They crossed into the older side of the neighborhood, the part no one really went to anymore. That's when they saw the house. It sat at the very end of the street. No lights, no decorations, no pumpkins. Just an old wooden porch with a bowl that said, "Take one." Eli ran ahead, laughing, too excited to wait. His parents called after him. Then the porch light flickered on for a second. Just 1 second. Then off again. They said it felt like someone was watching. Eli climbed the steps, peeked into the bowl, and that was it. He never came back down. His mom thought he was hiding, playing a trick. His dad called his name again. Nothing. Then, they heard it. A door creaking open somewhere inside the house, and a whisper, faint and slow, like it came from the walls. Trick or treat. Karen ran up the steps, but the door slammed shut before she could reach it. She screamed his name, pounding on the door. When she finally got it open, the house was empty. No furniture, no lights, just a layer of dust and cobwebs, and Eli's little flashlight rolling slowly across the wooden floor. The police came, searched the entire place, searched the woods, every yard on that block. Nothing. He was gone. The only thing they found was his candy bag lying in the street the next morning. Inside, the candy had melted, but sitting right on top was a small, old, rusted key. That house had been empty for 30 years. It used to belong to a man named Harold Crowley. People said he hated kids. A few children had gone missing in the neighborhood back in the 80s. They suspected him, but he disappeared before they could question him. No one lived there after that. The power was shut off, lines cut, which means that night, the porch light that flickered on for Eli shouldn't have worked. A year later, people still talked about it. No one went near that end of the street. The Millers moved away. But every Halloween after that, someone would say they saw him. A little boy in a red hoodie, walking door to door, alone, dragging a candy bag behind him. I didn't believe it, until I saw him myself. It was a year later. I looked out my window around 10 o'clock. The street was empty except for the fog rolling over the sidewalk. Then, at the far end of the road, I saw him. Small, slow steps, head tilted down, the same red hoodie. My heart stopped. I ran outside, shouting his name. But when I reached the end of the road, the house he disappeared at was gone. It had burned down that summer. Nothing but black soil. And lying right there in the ashes was a piece of a Spider-Man mask. Melted. Next to it, the same small rusted key. After that, strange things started happening. People said their doorbells would ring at midnight on Halloween. When they opened the door, no one was there. Sometimes they'd find a small candy bag left on their porch. Inside the bag, old keys. Some swore they heard a child's voice whisper in trick or treat from the darkness. One neighbor said she actually saw him. She said he looked up at her with black eyes, like hollow sockets. His skin was pale, almost gray. She screamed, dropped the candy bowl, and he vanished. Tonight, I wasn't going to open the door. I swore I wouldn't. But when that knock came, something made me move. Maybe curiosity, maybe fear. The sound came again, slow and careful. I looked through the peephole. No one. But there was something on the porch. A small candy bag, crumpled and wet from the fog. I opened the door just enough to grab it. Inside was a red hoodie, damp, mud-stained. At the bottom, that same old key. I dropped it instantly. The air turned cold, sharp, like the night itself was holding its breath. Then I heard it again, from somewhere in the yard. The same voice, small, whispers slipping through the dark. Trick or treat. The streetlight flickered. I could see something moving just beyond the fog. A small figure. The same height as Eli. The outline of a red hoodie, stepping closer, slow and unsteady. I backed inside, locked the door, turned off the lights. My heart was pounding so loud I could hear it echo. I waited. Silence. Then, 3 soft knocks against the door again. Trick or treat. I didn't open it. I couldn't. I just stood there, shaking. Then something slid under the door. I bent down, barely able to breathe. It was a photograph. Old, faded. Eli standing on the porch that night, smiling in his Spider-Man suit. But behind him, in the dark doorway of the house, there was someone else. A tall man, shadowed, wearing a mask that looked like a skull. The next morning, the candy bag was gone. The key, too. The fog lifted. The street was quiet again. But there were small footprints in the dirt outside my door. Tiny, barefoot, leading away. Now, every Halloween, I still hear it. Somewhere down the block, a child's voice, calling softly through the wind. Trick or treat. And every year, someone new goes missing. No one answers the door anymore. But somehow, he always finds a way in. So if you hear a knock after midnight this Halloween, don't answer. Don't look outside. Don't say a word. Just stay still and pray he keeps walking. Because once you hear him whisper those 3 words, it's already too late. Tell us in the comments. Would you open the door if a lost child came trick-or-treating after midnight?